Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, Barinthus Biotherapeutics BRNS just filed an 8K about getting more time to stay on the Nasdaq, and I am seeing a big red flag about their stock price. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. They are at risk of being kicked off the Nasdaq, and the company is hinting at a reverse stock split to try and fix it, which usually doesn't go well. Alright, let us dive into this 8K filing from Barinthus Biotherapeutics. This is essentially a notification to the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or CAC, about major events happening with the company. The earliest event reported here is the 30th of June, 2026. This part is just a checkbox section for certain types of filings. Nothing major to see here for our analysis today. Now, this table tells us what securities the company has registered to trade on an exchange. Specifically, it lists their American Depository Shares, or ADSs, which trade under the symbol BRNS on the Nasdaq Capital Market. This is important because the main story in this filing revolves around their listing status on Nasdaq. Barinthus Biotherapeutics is identifying itself as an emerging growth company. This designation can allow them certain flexibilities in how they report financial information. This section covers what happened at their recent annual general meeting, which was held on the 2nd of July 2026. It seems like the company submitted several proposals to a vote of their shareholders. Here we see the actual voting results on various resolutions. The company reported a total of 17,549,280 shares were present or represented by proxy, which was enough to meet the quorum needed to conduct business. All matters submitted to a vote were approved, and the director nominees were elected. For example, they re-elected Karen T. Dawes as a director. Karen received a massive 17,454,768 votes in favour, with only 43,382 against. This kind of strong support for director re-elections is pretty standard in these meetings. They also reappointed their auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP, which is another common agenda item to ensure continued auditing for the company. This also received overwhelming approval. This is where the key information is for today's video. This section is about other significant events that don't fit into the other categories. The company has been in hot water with Nasdaq for a while. Back in December 2025, Nasdaq notified them that their stock price had been below $1 for 30 days straight. This is a problem because Nasdaq has a rule that requires listed companies' stock prices to stay above $1 to remain on their exchange. Nasdaq gave them 180 days, which is about 6 months, to get their stock price back up to $1 or more. That deadline was the 29th of June 2026. Now, the really important part, on the 30th of June 2026, they got a letter from Nasdaq saying they are getting an extension. This is good news, right? Well, sort of, they have been granted another 180 days, meaning they now have until the 28th of December 2026 to meet this $1 minimum bid price requirement. They also got moved from the Nasdaq Global Market to the Nasdaq Capital Market, effective the 2nd of July 2026. The company says they will be watching the stock price closely and are considering options to fix this. And here is the kicker. Folks, one of the options they are considering is a reverse stock split. This is where a company consolidates its existing shares into a smaller number of new shares, which typically increases the price per S-share. For example, they might do a 1 for 10 reverse split, meaning 10 old shares become 1 new share. To regain compliance, the stock price needs to close at $1 or higher for at least 10 consecutive business days. Nasdaq might even extend this period to 20 days if they decide. If they fail to meet the requirement by the 28th of December 2026, Nasdaq will start the process to delist their shares. And they are very clear here, there is no guarantee they will fix this problem, and the stock could very well be delisted. Now, let us talk about that reverse stock split. Historically, companies that resort to reverse splits often do so because their stock price has fallen significantly. While it can temporarily boost the share price, it does not fundamentally change the company's value. About half of microcap companies that do reverse splits eventually end up delisted anyway. Think about Kodak back in 2021. They did a 1 for 20 reverse split and their stock continued to fall, with holders seeing roughly a 40% additional drawdown over the following 90 days. A $1,000 investment there became about $600. Barinthus Biotherapeutics is a small biotech company with a market cap of only around $25 million and a current share price of $0.62. This puts them in a very precarious position. The fact that they are even considering a reverse stock split signals serious underlying issues with their stock performance and possibly their business outlook. And finally, we have the signature section where the company officially signs off on this filing, confirming its accuracy. William N. Wright, the Chief Executive Officer, signed this document on the 2nd of July 2026. So, what is the takeaway here? Barinthus Biotherapeutics is in a tough spot. Fighting to stay listed on the Nasdaq, they have been given more time, but the potential for a reverse stock split is a major warning sign for investors. It suggests the company is struggling to maintain its stock price, and such moves often precede further decline or even delisting. The company needs to find a way to genuinely increase its value or attract investor confidence, not just shuffle its stock structure. The risk I am watching is whether they can truly turn their business around or if this extension is just delaying the inevitable. What I am actually looking for is a clear path to sustainable revenue growth that will naturally lift the stock price. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going, that is my take. Stay decoded if this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description.